And here we go. Apparently, we are live. Hello, and welcome to the #1 Tyranid shit show on the internet, the Creature Conference. Hopefully, everyone is hearing me fine. Kajan, do you have YouTube open?
Yeah, I have YouTube open, but I have it muted right now.
Okay.
I'm hearing you, so.
Great, thank you. So, I am joined today by the lovely Kajan. Want to say hi, Kajan?
Hey everyone.
Thank you for joining me on this this Creature Conference. And we normally have Darth Bob with us, but something came up with Darth Bob's work, so he's not able to join us, unfortunately, tonight. So it's just going to be the two of us.
I think we'll manage.
Yeah, so thanks for putting up with my crap. Okay, I'm just still trying to build the whole stream here to see if I can get some pictures up so we can talk some creatures of possibly like somewhat human variety, but creatures nonetheless. They're still considered Xenos, I think. Let's see. I really had no idea how I wanted to set this up. What a professional I am. Actually, I can't.
Creature conference without it.
I can't. Well, it's stupid. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make sure that you can see my workspace while I'm like talking about bullshit on the internet. So maybe it's just important that you can see the bullshit on the internet right now. Let's do that. Oh crap. Bear with. Okay, I'm gonna plunk this up here and I'm gonna regret it later when it goes over the chat. Oh, actually, I can do a thing. Yeah, so I was telling Kajan in the pre-stream that my settings are all still messed up because of the whole like having Hydra here last week and having to make sure that I could get 2 cameras up. And of course, I had all kinds of time to get ready, and I spent it doing other things, farting around. So here we are. But this is just what you pay for, or rather don't pay for, when it comes to the #1 Tyranid shit show on the internet, the Creature Conference. So, Kajan, as this is the North American stream, even though confusingly you are in Germany, what part of Rick Priestley's palatial North American cottage are we coming to people from tonight?
Well, obviously, thank you. Since you already teased the G.I. Joe, we are coming from Rick Priestley's secret underground mountain base from where we fight crime with our spiffy gadgets and.
I love it. However, you forget, Kajan, that we are Tyranids. We're Tyranid lovers. We're all about those Tyranids. So, for bonus points, if you had to pick the most Tyranid-y place that ever happened in G.I. Joe, I don't know how much experience you have with G.I. Joe, where would that be? The most Tyranid-y place that's ever been shown in G.I. Joe?
Not that familiar with G.I. Joe, I have to admit, but
That's
I
fine.
can pretty much assume it's probably some. It was an 80s show, so I'm sure they had one of those dome thingies where this dome project where they had that Mars project where people went to live. So I'm pretty sure they had something like that. So it was probably some greenhouse dome thingy.
Kajan, that is not what I was hinting at, and we'll see if anyone in the chat gets it. But that is a fantastic guess because Cobra, the bad guys in G.I. Joe, had a base called the Terrordome. So you're not far off, man.
Yeah, G.I. Joe isn't something that we really had. Or
No,
at least
no.
I didn't see that much.
I'm not
We had
surprised.
other stuff like Mask and Dino Riders and that stuff.
Well, what that tells me is that you had plenty of good things. You weren't lacking for good 80s children's television created to sell toys. Mask,
No.
Dino Riders, those are all really great shows that I remember fondly. And I guess G.I. Joe is more of like an American thing. And because we're in Canada, we're like, baby America, and we get a lot of American crossover. But let's see. Does anyone in the chat, can anyone in the chat, I don't know if anyone in the chat is familiar with G.I. Joe, but if you were familiar with G.I. Joe and you had to guess the most Tyranid-y locale that we ever saw in G.I. Joe, what would it be? I won't let you stew on this for too long, but I'll definitely give the answer. But well, the answer as I see it. But let's see if Skinny Skull, Yauta, Yauta. I don't know how to pronounce your name, man.
Right.
Yauta. Do you know how to pronounce it?
Yotia?
Yocha.
Yotia?
Well.
I'm not sure.
Well, let us know.
Reminds me of the Predator race.
Yes.
But I know
Yes.
it's spelled different. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
You're a better Predator scholar than me, because I definitely thought of Predator as well, but I did not realize that that is not how it's spelled.
It's actually what it's spelled. So, and that would make it Yaucha.
Okay. Well, now 2 questions for the chat. How do we pronounce your name, Yaucha? And if anyone knows, what is the most Tyranid-y place in all of G.I. Joe? Let's see if anyone can come up with it. Oh, sometime after the Serpentor line started. That is a good guess. Yauta. Apparently, there we go. Yauta. Sounds like. Actually, yes. Wait, was Serpentor? I think Serpentor was there. So for those who don't follow G.I. Joe, I love the Serpentor storyline because here, let me see if I can find Serpentor for you.
I believe Serpentor was that where he went full on Cobra with a snake head and everything, right?
He had a snake head on his like armor or his suit.
I thought he could transform into a big snake, but
so well, now you're actually getting very close to the answer I was hoping you would get to. So we'll see. Morning, Brett Evans. Brett, if you're just joining us, we're gonna be having some oh god, YouTube. I don't want YouTube. We're gonna be having some talk about models in a second, but before we get started on models, I wanted to ask people a G.I. Joe trivia question. What is the most Tyranid place that we ever saw in G.I. Joe? Brett, if you have G.I. Joe experience, please, educate us. Otherwise, I'm just going to put everyone out of their misery because I'm like, oh, this is really important, guys. Let's talk about this. So this here is Serpentor, who was... he was the Supreme Commander of Cobra, even though you might think that it's Cobra Commander. What happened was that Cobra Commander was like the standard boss, and then they had this whole like... I love G.I. Joe's 5-part miniseries that they did. And one of their 5-part miniseries is that they raided the tombs of the greatest commanders of all time to get their DNA to build the greatest commander that they could ever create. So when they raided those tombs and they got all this DNA together, what they created was Serpentor. This guy here, who's got a snake... Let's see if I can make this bigger. Does this work? Does this work? Does this work? Damn it. So he's got like snake armor that he wears, and he's got a snake thing over his head, and he rides around on a flying jet bike thing that's shaped like a snake with lasers on it. So basically snakes everywhere. Well, let's go for an action figure. That's pretty... that's not the classic. Where's the classic action figure? Well, the classic action figure is probably terrible. Whatever. This is a pretty good action figure. So he's all about those snakes. And... oh, here we go. Oh, this is actually... Is this a 3D sculpt? So yeah, he had snakes on him that he could use as weapons. And he had like a snake... a cobra head. And then whatever. So this is Serpentor, and he was the snake guy. But you were saying, Kajan, that there was a guy who could turn into a snake. And that is very close to... there we go. There was actually a time when Cobra Commander, who, if you're not familiar with Cobra Commander, he's this chrome dome looking dude. That's not a very good picture. Sorry, I'm just really into G.I. Joe, so now I'm going off like on a tangent. But I promise it'll be worth it. I promise this will link back to Tyranids eventually. So here is some toys of Cobra Commander. These are like the new ones, the fancy ones. If you look on the right there, the guy with the blue...
You have on there with the snake that's being strangled. That's the one I have seen in the past. That's why I assumed he could transform into a snake.
Kajan, you're a genius. You are the only one who answered my question like properly. Apparently, we don't have any GI Joe fans in the chat, because what happened? This picture of Cobra Commander and this picture of Cobra Commander, and let's go. Oh yeah, good call. I never know how to pronounce it. Also, Irath or whatever, tell us how to pronounce your name, because I always screw that up. This picture of Cobra Commander, these are all pictures from a different miniseries. So they had that miniseries where they went and got like all the DNA to create Serpentor. And what I loved about the Serpentor storyline is that they basically, G.I. Joe taught you like world history, like kind of low key without telling you about it. Like it'd be like, this is Genghis Khan and this is Rasputin. And it taught you about all these actual real historical, well, I don't know, real, but like characters from history as they were trying to find the DNA of the greatest rulers of all time. And they had to kind of like travel all over the world and gather this DNA. So there was like a little bit of education there. But, so that was one miniseries. But then the other miniseries, which I friggin' loved, and was the #1 Tyranid-based G.I. Joe thing, was something called, and this is where this comes from, Cobra Law. Like, okay, this was, I don't know what I can show you from Cobra Law. Okay, come on, give me some good Cobra Law pics. So, what happened is that Cobra was just this, like, bad guy force that fought the G.I. Joes. But at one point, in this one miniseries, I don't know, I think the miniseries was called Cobra Law. But if you love Tyranids, you should see if you can find, like, G.I. Oh, goddamn, why is this so small? You can see if you should see if you can find G.I. Joe episodes somewhere, because Cobra Law was just like the coolest shit. Like, the story was that Cobra Law was where Cobra came from, and oh man, if I planned this, it'd be going better. But I'm just basically going nuts here. So here's an idea of what Cobra Law looked like. Like, if you look at this thing here, this looks very like anime-ish. It looks very organic, maybe slightly Tyranid. Cobra Law was this like secret hideout where apparently, like, I don't know, Cobra somehow came from, or I think maybe Cobra Commander came from it. And it was this completely organic secret base, like inside a mountain or something like that. And it everything was organic. Like all the doors were organic, all the ships were like they flew around in these floaty ships that looked kind of like overlords from StarCraft, or kind of like Omu from Naushka, Valley of the Wind. And like, it was just the coolest. So what happened was that they went there, Cobra found the secret hideout, and the leader of the secret hideout was this badass dude called Globulus. Let's see if we can get a picture of Globulus. What I'm doing here is I'm giving you a tour of why are these pictures so small? Damn it. Hold on. Cobra La Glob. I don't know how to spell Globulus.
G-O-L-O-B.
Oh, you figured it out?
U-L-U-S.
All right, nice.
I just linked you the fan wiki.
Fucking hell. Okay, thanks, man. Why is every picture I find the smallest thing on the planet? So, Globulus was this badass dude. Here's a cool picture of Globulus. So, Globulus had a... Oh my god. Like, how is this for, like, weird character design from the 80s? Wait, where the hell did it go? He had a snake tail body. He had a human upper torso. He had this weird crab crustacean-looking armor on his chest. He had this creepy eye thing, like a creature growing over his eye, like an eye patch. And then his other arm was this, like, green snake arm thing. And he was basically the leader of Cobra Law. Like, he was the ruler of Cobra Law. He's that guy in the middle there with the green arm and the red shit on his chest. And he would float around in this weird, floaty, organic flying thing, and he basically ruled Cobra Law. So first of all, that guy's pretty fucking cool, and he's the boss. But then, not only was he the boss, oh god, I don't remember all their names, but he had this other dude who was his minion, and this guy's name, I shit you not, his name, Nemesis Enforcer. How badass does that sound? This guy's name is Nemesis Enforcer, and he has like these crazy, I don't know, these are supposed to be reptiles. Oh, I guess they're kind of reptilian wings. And he's got these huge, you can kind of see them here, bone sights that grow out of his forearms. And he would just use these things to like tear people apart. So he was like Globulus's enforcer, and he was like a badass dude. And then he had this other lady, and I can't remember what her name was, but she was basically his like poison lady. What the hell's her name? Have you got it in the wiki there? Oh, okay, because
the woman?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
Pythona, thank you. Because what would happen is back in the day when we were buying G.I. Joe toys, because that's what we do, you buy a 3-pack, and it came with Globulus, so you see him on the right there with his big long tail. It came with Nemesis Enforcer, he's like bottom left. And then kind of like middle right is the... I'm getting so excited, I need a drink. So, that guy in the middle there, he was called a Royal Guard. So he was basically like the rank and file troopers that they had in Cobra Law. They actually had like these cool, oh man, there's all these like new G.I. Joe toys. I really need to not look at these. So here's one of the Royal Guards from Cobra Law. He's got like this big organic blade thing. He's got funky like a bug head and like weird insectoid armor. They're pretty cool. And then, sorry, what did you say her name was? Venoma? Pythona, thank you. Cobra Law.
That's version of Python.
Nice. That is so very G.I. Joe, because all of the Cobra stuff was jokes about snakes. So here is Pythona. And I think she could maybe shapeshift and like look like other like humans, and she would like infiltrate stuff, but I think she also had like these badass claws, and she would like shoot venom from her claws and like melt shit. In fact, this picture here is this amazing scene where Pythona and Nemesis Enforcer like break into like the most secure G.I. Joe jail ever and free, I think freeing the Dreadnoks? I don't know. Anyway, she's badass. And like Cobra Law is just the most badass shit, and it is super, well, that's a kind of cool toy. It is super Tyranid-y. Like, the whole storyline was that they went to Cobra... Oh, I guess Serpentor was before Cobra Law, because here's him getting with Pythona. The whole story was that Cobra Law had these, like, mutagenic pods. Or, no, actually, you know what they were? They were, like, basically mycetic spores. That it had these big, very phallic objects that it could... Like, basically, like, organic missiles. That it was going to fire up into the Earth's atmosphere. They were going to break open, rain spores down on the Earth, and turn everyone into weird reptilian mutants. How Tyranid is that shit? Is that not the most Tyranid shit you've ever heard? Like, yeah. God damn. So, I used to think that I got started on Tyranids in, like, the late 90s when my friend showed me his Tyranid collection, but literally right now, I am realizing that I probably got started on Tyranids when I was watching G.I. Joe, and I got all into, like, I watched the Cobra Law series, and I was just like, yes, more of this every day in my life. Oh, okay, here we go. These are the pictures we want. Okay, we got this.
Sidetracked is asking a very, very important question.
What's
Why
that?
did they name the poison lady after a non-venomous snake?
Because they didn't know shit about snakes. Because they were just like, damn, we need some more snaky names. What, like Python, like rattlesnake? I don't know. So, like, some ideas of what you could see, what magical sights one would encounter when visiting Cobra Law. Here are this, like, crazy forest of these vine trees that had, like, scissor-like barbs on the top. And they would grab, like, anyone walking through with their tentacles and, like, I guess they're more like vines, and, like, wrap them up. So I think the G.I. Joe dudes tried to, like, assault Cobra Law, and they just got grabbed by all these trees. And then, what else we got? We got... Ooh, what's this little delicate number? Please don't be tiny.
This would make for great Tyranid
I'm
terrain.
telling you, man, you gotta check out, if you can find G.I. Joe, the TV series, in your streaming service. I don't even know what they're on anymore. Why are these pictures all so small? There is so much good shit in Cobra Law. Like, Cobra Law is just like this organic nightmare land. And this image, the name for this image is, why is it so small? Is because literally what they would do in Cobra Law is they would, that was their battle call. Like those crazy Royal Guard dudes that we were looking at before. These dudes right here with their big, here we go, with their big swords and their weird insectoid armor. Their battle cry was Cobra. So yeah, it's just a wonderful, wonderful place. Oh, here we go. You can see in the background of this image, so we've got a Royal Guard here. There's those kind of like phallic looking objects behind him. Those are the big spore shooting missiles that they were going to fire up into the atmosphere. It's just like, it's so good. Please do yourself a favor and go and look up Cobra Law. Like, I don't know, maybe, is it on YouTube maybe?
Probably.
Joe Cobra Law miniseries. No one cares about G.I. Joe. They're just going to put that on YouTube, right? Oh, 22. In Cobra's Pit, Captives of Cobra. Is it called The Revenge of Cobra? No, that one controls the weather. Damn it. Cobra Law.
There is
Oh, maybe it's G.I. Joe the movie.
Yeah, G.I. Joe the movie, The Secret
Yes.
of Cobra Law.
Thank you. You're the best. So it's G.I. Joe. I have this thing on DVD because you need it. It's so good. Movie Secret of Cobra Law. I wonder if you can like if I could just like fucking stream this thing on the internet without getting a copyright strike, and we could just watch it together because it's so good. Why is it not coming up? Secret of Cobra Law. Yep, crap. No, Rise of Cobra is not what we want.
Maybe it says another name.
The movie. Let's see what that comes up with. Oh, it's coming up with the new shitty movies. Okay, it's this one that we want. It's from 1987. Oh, watch options. Oh, you can watch it on YouTube from $1.99. It's only an hour and 33 minutes. Like, you can find worse things to do with an hour and 33 minutes of your time. And look at these awesome, like, skilled actors in here. We got Sergeant Slaughter. We got Peter Cullen, otherwise known as Optimus Prime. Don Johnson. Burgess Meredith is Globulus. How cool is that? Come on. Who are these other more white dudes with black and white pictures? Oh shit, what have I done? I've broken things. Anyway, I guess you can't watch it on YouTube. That's too bad. But it is the most Tyranid thing that has ever come out from G.I. Joe / from 80s cartoons. This is a total side trip. Thank you for joining me on it. But basically, if we're talking about G.I. Joe this time, and we're coming to you from like a G.I. Joe place, I would recommend that we're coming to you from Cobra Law because it's the most Tyranid thing that I have ever seen in G.I. Joe. Let's watch this little trailer here and see if they get to Cobra Law at all. Okay, so that's Duke. Who's that? Oh no, those are weird Cobra dudes. Why? Show me Cobra Law. I don't want this boring crap. This is a terrible trailer. Okay, I give up. This is crap. All right, thank you for your patience. Go check out G.I. Joe, the movie, 1987. I'm going to put it in the chat. It's going to be kind of janky, old animation styles, but it is glorious. And yeah, definitely Dark Eldar vibes. Era, I would agree. So this is where I got my start on Dark Eldar. This is where I got my start on Tyranids, was G.I. Joe, the movie, 1987. This scene that we can't get a good picture of apparently is Globulus, the floaty dude in the thing. He's got Cobra Commander restrained in this creepy. Look at that fleshy, like gluey. It's basically a clamshell that he keeps this guy in. And what he does is he takes off Cobra Commander's face, or not his face, his mask, and he exposes Cobra Commander to one of these seed pods that are supposed to mutate the human population. And the seed pod starts to transform Cobra Commander into this hideous snake thing. And that is 6 degrees of separation from that snake dude that you remember.
Oh.
Snake. So, so they open up one of these seed pods in his face, and they transform him. And he initially starts off with like this guy who kind of looks like a human, but's got creepy, lots of different eyes. And then he starts to like break down into more of like a snake dude. And then eventually he's like just a snake. And
Yeah,
he's getting.
I remember him with snake eyes. That's the Cobra Commander I remember.
Yeah, and like in this one, he's being transported by Roadblock, who is one of the most like blaxploitation characters you're ever going to see in a cartoon. I think Roadblock's every line of dialogue rhymed because apparently that's what black characters do in the 80s. So he basically saves Cobra Commander, and he's like transporting Cobra Commander. I can't remember why, but Cobra Commander wants to turn back into a human kind of person to get his revenge on everybody in Cobra Law. And one of my favorite lines in all of G.I. Joe that I still say to this day is when I think it's like this scene when like Roadblock is like choking out Snake Cobra Commander. Cobra Commander's line is, "I was a man once, a man." And when I really suck at a board game, or I'm like losing hardcore at a video game, I will turn Nora and I will just go, "I was a man once, a man." And she has no idea what the hell I'm doing. Oh my god, what a trip. I promise that it'll be worth it if you take an hour and 33 minutes and watch G.I. Joe the movie from 1987. It'll be fun. It'll be Tyranid-y. It'll be gross and Dark Eldar-ish. So if you actually do it, leave a comment or send me a message because please God, let the side trip even work something. All that is to say that I grew up with G.I. Joe, and it was a big part of my childhood. And if you don't know anything about G.I. Joe, all you need to know is that this new model that we got from Leagues of Votann is basically a G.I. Joe toy. Crazy big wheels, random guns everywhere, interesting canopy, non-standard design. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask people what they thought of this stuff, because I feel like the whole like Leagues of Votann thing is kind of divisive in the community. And yeah, how do people feel about what we're seeing from Leagues of Votann and from this vehicle specifically this week? Kajan, why don't you start?
Well, I have to say it actually reminded me of Mask. So
Nice, another classic 80s goodness.
It's why I actually looked up the first episode of Mask on YouTube, and it's actually on YouTube.
Oh,
You
nice.
can watch it for free.
Yeah.
But I forgot how 80s that series was.
Yeah, this is what happens with any time you go back. Like I tried to go back and watch original Transformers, and the animation is really rough.
I'm having not so much a problem with the animation, more with what's depicted in it. I mean, they have one of the characters is an Asian guy that's speaking in Confucius rhymes.
Oh no!
The swallow flies high, blah blah blah, and another teammate is like, I can't understand this dude, and they are making it out like yeah, like this Asian guy can't be understood.
Yeah.
It's very 80s. But anyway, I didn't want to sidetrack into Mask, but it looks very Mask to me. I actually like this design. When we talked about it, at first it didn't register to me that it's actually the dwarves,
Yeah.
and I thought it's the what's their name, the spider dudes, the high tech spider necromunda.
You would be forgiven in thinking that, because I made a title card for this stream, and I stuck a Necromunda guy on the back of it, and that would probably lead you to believe that it is Necromunda. And you're right that the spider dudes are Escher, right? And
No, Asher are the women, I think.
oh no, you're right. Sorry. Delac.
It's the
Is it Delac?
lack are the creepy dudes the everybody uses for the mechanicus. It's the
Oh wait,
that's
Van
that's
Sar.
also
Shit, I'm so
that's
bad at this. Van Sar. Fuck. Yeah, Van Sar. Yeah. You're right.
exactly. At
Wait.
first, I thought this was the Vanzar vehicle because it really gives me this. In the Discord, I said it gives me this space station alpha, moon base alpha vibe. It to me it looks like something you'd see in COG mining on an asteroid.
Yeah.
This would be for me. This looks like what a rock crusher model for the gene stealer cult should have
Oh
looked
yeah,
like.
you mentioned that. Yeah, and you're totally forgiven for thinking that this is Van Sar, because Van Sar is very techy. They're very like the like non-rectilinear. Well, no, not is it rectilinear? Non-90-degree angles. Like they have a lot of like
Yeah.
cut corners and stuff. So yeah, the aesthetic could work with Van Sar, and I think that could be said with a lot of the Votann stuff. So this was like the most recent Votann thing we saw. But before this, we've had a goodly amount of Votannies. Like, come on. We got I think they're called Hearthguard. And sure, they're squatty and small, but if you, I think you could make these into Vansar if you tried hard enough.
I'm not so sure you can turn the troops into it. It could work, I think, but
It would take some work, definitely, and they would be very heavily armored Vansar, to be sure. And then they got the other thing that we've seen, which is the Exo. Wait, what are they called? Hearth? No.
I think Hearthguard.
And here Hearthguard. Yes, you're right. So these are
Yeah,
like even chunkier boys. And I think that there's been a lot of comparisons between these and Terran Marines from StarCraft. Let's pull those up for a quick comparison, because I think it's a very apt comparison. And I love that, because I love the Terran Marines from StarCraft, and I want to convert the crap out of these guys, make them some Terran Marines.
Well, good on Games Workshop for getting better at Blizzard.
Well, no, this is a long and complicated story, but like, look at these guys. Look at these guys. Like, look at those guns. Look at those fucking guns. They are pretty straight influenced by these dudes. And I got no problems with that. I ain't casting no shade about that, because I love me some Terran Marines. In fact, I think maybe the other guys are even more Terran Marine than these guys. I don't know. It's a toss up. But yeah, look at these little dinguses compared to this guy. It's basically the same thing. And I'm all about it. Bring it, because I love it. I love all of this. Every time a new Votann thing comes out, I'm like, yes, hook me up. Oh, there was that robot dude that they showed, but I didn't get him in the search, apparently. Oh, look. It's a League of Votann.
According to chat, you converted at least one person to check out G.I. Joe movie.
Nice. I love it.
Skinny Skull 13 says, that sounds awesome. Gonna have to check it out.
Skinny Skull, check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm warning you now, the animation is not great. I'm warning you now that there are problematic representations of people of color in it. In fact, I can't remember if Jinx is in that one. There's this one like Asian woman ninja fighter, and her name is Jinx, and there's probably some really bad jokes that I forgot about in there because I haven't watched it since I was wee.
Most
Well,
likely, I mean, the ninja dude, Snake Eyes, is a white guy.
yeah, well, at least Jinx is not a white guy, but yeah, there's some sketchiness in there, but it's also fun and Tyranid-y, so enjoy. Where the heck? I don't know where that other robot thing is. Go ahead.
Before we move on, Yota said about the Votann vehicle. I'd say wheeled warriors just needs an articulated arm on top. I'm
Wheel
not sure what
Warriors.
wheeled warriors is, but
It
it sounds
sounds
like
like
an
an
80s
80s
TV
thing.
show.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up because it sounds like an 80s thing that I should remember. Let's see. Wheel Warriors. Jace
While
and
you look
Wheeled Warriors.
and while you look that up, Brett said, like I said in Discord, it's all very generic Halo, Starship Trooper stuff, which seems to be opposite of Games Workshop's normal thing of making everything super copyrightable.
Yeah. Okay, this is
Um,
my problem with the 80s is that I pull up stuff like this and I'm like, "Oh my god, I remember these toys." It's like this weird like tenuous like I almost remember these or I had them or my friend had them and I wanted them. Ah, god, I love it all.
we never got those. I
This one I
don't.
don't remember as much, but for some reason this weird walkie thing with the weird head stands out to me. Monster Mind Beast. This thing feels weirdly familiar. Whatever the heck it is. So thanks for bringing that up. Who was that? Was that Yaoja? Yaocha?
Yes.
Thanks for bringing that up because I totally forgot about it. I think this thing, I think I had this or someone I knew had this. Weird. So what happens with this kind of stuff is that I forget that it exists and then I walk into that store that I went to with Hydra and it's just like there to buy and I'm like, "Oh, this is a piece of my childhood that I completely forgot." Look at this dude. He's treading the line with some like weird Tyranid Frieza something or other. Yes, apparently this creature conference is just us reliving the 80s via Google. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, so this could fit in that too. That wheeled thing. What else we got?
The storyboard guy said on the sci-fi Kit Bash forum, it looks similar to when people use Jedi Starfighter cockpits for land vehicle builds.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, it's very TIE Fighter.
Yeah, so like I think when it comes to like Votann, I'm more into their rank and file troops because I want to turn them all into StarCraft Marines. But when it comes, oh shit, what have I done? When it comes to their vehicles, I'm not as crazy about the vehicles. Like this thing's pretty cool and it gives me GI Joe vibes, but they have like a hover bike, don't they?
I don't think I've seen a hover bike.
They previewed a hover bike, but I don't. Oh, am I not going back far enough? Oh, here we go. Okay, I didn't go back far enough. We got more stuff. Here we go. A new tab.
But I just realized this is now the second minor faction.
Oh, oh, you're right. Gene Silicolson and Votann, let's fight.
Yeah, who's going to get to stay the minor of 40k?
Oh, that is awesome. I didn't even think about that. And in fact, you got Votann fighting with squats because apparently they're different. Okay, here we go. Let's be professional about this. Let's get all this good shit up. Okay, here's a Votann robot. Here is the Hearthkin dudes, otherwise known as Terran Marine Part A. Here, no, these are the Hearthkin. Look at the butt on that one. Yeah. So Terran Marines Part B. And then we got the Wheelie Rock Crusher. So Exhibit A, look. Votann use hover technology. Exhibit B. No, Votann use wheels. They can't decide. I honestly think that if I were to get this thing, I would want to modify it to be more like this, to have like hover pods on it. Because like you said, it looks like something that should be mining an asteroid, and I don't really believe that you're going to get a lot of gravity on an asteroid to use wheels.
Yeah.
And like that thing on the side of it between the first one wheel and the back set of two wheels, that looks like some kind of like exhaust or propulsion thruster thing. So I think it could work rather well. But otherwise, I love all this stuff. Like, it's just so good. All this stuff I'm buying. The only thing I don't like the weird like dwarven runes. I think that stuff could be left off. But I'd say the best description is when you like. I feel like a lot of people like the Necromunda squats, the weird, chunky, more retro '80s looking stuff. But me, I've always been clamoring for like more high tech 40k, even though I know that's not the setting. It's supposed to be gothic, blah blah blah. But I'm a sucker for high tech, and I just love how the new Votann stuff is high tech. I also love that it's not just warmed over Caradron overlords, because honestly, when you look at these two pictures together and you look at the armor on the left and the armor on the right, the stuff on the left reminds me way more of Caradron stuff, especially when you go and look at the miners, like the squat miners from the Necromunda set. Their armor looks very Caradron overlords to me, and not very like different or futuristic. So I like that with the higher tech approach to the Votann, that we're getting more of a sci-fi-ish look and less of like a weird gothic sci-fi thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of those. That horse head on with the
No, chop that off.
Yeah.
Like I said, get rid of all the dwarf crap. Just get rid of it. I think that's them trying to be like, yeah, they're dwarves. It's like, we know you're not making dwarves. Stop trying to pretend they're dwarves.
But what I also just realized, we again have no female models.
We have female heads.
We
Definitely. Do? Yep. If for the Rock Crusher, this I think this head on the left is a female head. Do they actually mention it? And then in the these ones, I think some of these, like that top left one, the lady with the person with the slick back hair, looks like a female head to me. Although you got a lot of bearded dudes. And then in these pictures,
I have no problem with bearded dudes. It's just something that I just realized that we have pretty much everything I've seen is again a bearded dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think there's a couple of... So this one has a female head, top left, in this picture. And I think with the big chunky boys, they might have a female head as well. This one reads as female to me, but it could also read as male. Or non-binary.
I have no problem with ambiguity, so...
Yeah, this one feels ambiguous to me, or possibly female. That dude's got a mustache. That looks kind of bearded. That might be ambiguous. Let's scroll down and see if they got a close-up on. Nope, just a nice picture of some robo butt. So there's that one that could be ambiguous. Might be female. I don't know. But yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of variety. And then
it's a good thing in my opinion. I mean,
yeah, I agree.
I don't want them to sculpt boobs onto the armor plates. I think that's stupid, but
please no.
It's the one thing that's always also annoying me about the Sisters of Battle.
Yeah,
their
plate.
armor.
Yeah.
Why would you sculpt it like that? But
and then you also have genderless models because they have robots. So this is one of their like service. They're like, I don't know, Votann servitor dudes. Who's like they said is an AI, but shh, don't tell the Imperium because they hate AI.
Yeah, the lore is going to be interesting for this one.
Yeah, certainly. And I wanted to touch on Brett's comment because Brett said, like I said in the Discord, it's all very generic Halo, Starship Trooper stuff. which seems the opposite of Games Workshop's normal thing of making everything super copyrightable. Oh wait, you did say that one. Whoops, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so I guess they can copyright the name Votann, but you're right, Brett, that like the armor and the look and feel of them seems pretty generic sci-fi, like power armored troopers, especially when you're getting into these ones and into these ones, because they feel far more power armor to me, like traditional power armor. Like I said, Starship Trooper power armor. Sorry, no, StarCraft, not Starship Troopers. Oh, Felis, glad to have you joining us. And all you missed on the stream was me going off for half an hour about how much I love G.I. Joe and how everyone should look up the 1987 G.I. Joe animated film because it's got this crazy stuff in it called Cobra Law, which is like a super Tyranid-y setting within G.I. Joe. But other than that, we've just been talking about Votann. So anyone else in the chat, let us know how you feel about Votann and their stuff and whether you're interested in it, whether you have any conversion projects. I know it's not the stuff we typically talk about, which is more like weird alien Xenos / Tyranid things. I was about to say, I don't... Sorry, what's that?
Technically, those are Xenos.
You're right, they're Xenos, and the thing I just realized was, I'm like, you couldn't do anything Tyranid with this, but I was wrong. Because in StarCraft, they have these units called Infested Marines, which is basically a Tyranid Marine that's turned into a which is a Terran Marine that's basically turned into a Tyranid. So this is what that looks like.
The problem with that is it would probably read to most people as Chaos Infection.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's technically a human that's been infested by Zerg, which is the StarCraft Tyranid analog, but it does look like a Chaos mutation. So there you go. Maybe you get some infested Votann and you field them as Chaos. But I was going to say, you said, Kajan, that Games Workshop creating Votann to look like Terran Marines is a revenge by Games Workshop on StarCraft.
Sort of.
But
yeah.
the actual... Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, at least the way I know the story is that Blizzard approached Games Workshop with this unknown indie title called Warcraft to do a Warhammer Fantasy computer game, and Games Workshop told them to beat it, and they tried a second time and they wouldn't allow it, and then they said, okay, screw you, we're going to release it anyway, we're going to make it a parody and release it. And that's how we got StarCraft. Not StarCraft, Warcraft. And
so I've heard
Games
different...
Workshop then sued them, apparently, and the French court said, no, it's fine, it's a parody. And then because they won, they pretty much put... Blizzard said, okay, and now we're getting back at you for suing us, and we're making StarCraft.
Let's see, because I don't actually... Okay, I should actually read this article, because I don't... The story that I'd heard is that... Oh, here we go. Okay, so I should go and read this. Here's an article from Kotaku about the whole thing. But the story that I'd heard is that the two worked together to develop the game, and then at a point Games Workshop decided that they were no longer interested and they split off from it. And then Blizzard was like, okay, well, we'll still do it anyway. And that Blizzard was going to develop Warcraft with Games Workshop, and then maybe they started working on StarCraft as well for 40K, but I have to admit that all of my information on this is hearsay, and I haven't actually read any reporting on it. So you read like the actual reporting on it, or?
It's been years, to be frank. I
Yeah.
mean, the last time I really looked into this, it's been years, and I'm probably misremembering half of it. But I remember mid 2000, someone actually shared the court documents. You can check there should be out there somewhere from the French court where they discuss all of it, and it basically boiled down to Blizzard approached Games Workshop. Games Workshop said no, and Blizzard then said, "Okay, we are not going to waste all this work we did. We are going to release it anyway." And they made it into a parody to be safe about this. And then Games Workshop sued them, and after they won, they made Warcraft 2 and StarCraft with the protection of the French court because, well, they pretty much got the go ahead from the French court and said, "You're fine, you're protected. You can do what you want." And that's when Blizzard started to pretty much do their usual thing of taking everything people liked from it and making it little bit more approachable.
Okay, here we go. I like this meme. In the 90s, Games Workshop, Warhammer, sued Blizzard, Warcraft, for stuff they had plagiarized from Tolkien. And then we've got
Yeah.
Princess Bride. Let me explain. There's nothing to explain. You're trying to kidnap what I've rightfully stolen. Oh my god, it's so true.
Yeah.
Like that time they tried to sue a woman for having written a story about Sparkles the Space Marine, and Games Workshop was like, "You can't do Space Marines. That's our shit." And all of Sci-Fi was like, "Wait, you mean that thing you stole from Sci-Fi stories that came out in 1911?"
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean, it's extremely strange the way Games Workshop approaches all of this. I mean, to me, Space Marines will always remain to be Starship Troopers, and I'm not talking about that movie. I'm talking about proper Starship Troopers with their exo armor and everything,
yeah.
and that's Space Marines for me. The and Games Workshop basically nicked that and made their Space Marines, and then they started about now they need to copyright Space Marines, and uh, Games Workshop and their copyrights is a topic for itself.
Okay, so I don't even know what the story is here because I searched Games Workshop Blizzard lawsuit, got nothing. I no idea. Anyway, okay, I'm giving up. Back to what we were talking. So yeah, there was something between Games Workshop and Blizzard. Let's go read this article later. Maybe it's going to answer some of our questions. Who knows? But yeah, so apparently they're just copying wholesale from each other, and everyone's happy and fine with it. Is what I'm taking from all of this.
Yeah, I mean, I could care less about it. I like both. I like both properties, so
Yeah.
I mean, I like the Cirque for different reasons to turn it.
Yes.
The whole idea behind the Cirque is great, and Kerrigan is an amazing character. So
Agreed. Yeah, I love the Zerg too, and partially for Tyranid reasons, but also for Zergy reasons. Like I like their whole like thing with like the Cerebrits, and I don't know, the like weird way that they were created. Yeah. So long story short, I like me some StarCraft, and StarCraft Squat Marines. I'm all about.
and we have the first answer about how people like Wotan in general in the chat.
Yeah.
Taylor says Wotan are okay, but not something I would collect. It's good that Games Workshop broadens the range and gives us more variety.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, even if you're not into them, it is a good source for more techie bits if you want more techie bits. Like I said that I probably do. Yeah, and then I saw Yaucha's comment that the mining vehicle would look cool with vertical takeoff or landing engines, and I'm on that too. I would agree. Um, yeah, well, I guess that's all on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say unless you want to shout out Underhiver. I think he did some great conversions. Do we call that conversion? He did those chrome balls on the
Oh,
heads.
yeah. So that he did that, I think, with the Necromunda squad. Oh yeah, because the Votann stuff's
Yeah.
not out yet. But that was when I saw that. That was when I got more interested in squat stuff, because to me that's just an easier way to make a Terran Marine out of one of these. Just get one of those chrome balls and slap it in there, and like the conversion's done. You can make them
Yeah.
a little less stocky, but that's pretty much all you need.
I thought it was a genius idea when he posted the first picture of the thing with the glow pad. I thought this looks amazing.
Oh, I should do this.
It's it gives the whole suit the spacesuit vibe.
Let's see what I can get here. Come on, Google, you can do it. Maybe it's not as close to fit as I thought, but yeah, like when a Terran Marine deploys their visor, they basically just have a chrome ball where their head should be. So yeah, that conversion really sold me on the idea of doing Marine conversions. Definitely. Yeah, and it gives these guys a whole different look, which I really like. So now the question is just like, how do you get the right size chrome ball?
I would imagine it's probably a 2.5 centimeter chrome ball bearing.
Yeah?
I mean, that's just guesswork. I would have to have one of the models to measure it out, but
Of course.
I would. That's what I would guess. It's just a ball bearing.
Yeah.
I really love this one showing where this mole man guy that's jumping out of the ground.
Oh, with the claws?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's a
was pretty
great
cool.
pose.
It does look very moly, and I just realized that on the other one I was showing with the hammer, that he's got power fists holding that armor. Or that
Yeah.
hammer. I thought they were normal hands. I think there's another picture of the mole man here somewhere. There's the mole man. Oh, I guess it was a concept. Or someone drew it up for him.
And Brad said you probably could just message Underhiver and ask him. Yeah, okay.
Don't be ridiculous, Brett. It's more fun if I go to some store and try literally every ball bearing they have in the place to make sure that I've got the right size one. Oh man, I just like rubbed my own sticker off my work desk. That's great. Shit. Apparently creature conference stickers don't hold up when you're holding your hand on them.
That's bad.
Yeah, well, it got too hot. Too hot to trot. Couldn't handle me. Anyway, yeah, that was a good call, Kajan. The Underhiver Chrome Domes is definitely a cool conversion. And easily done and super effective. Like, this actually makes me like Necromunda squats more. I was not about them until this. Oh, and it looks like he's actually painting the models and leaving the chrome.
Yeah.
So he's not even painting it. That's a neat idea. Huh. Interesting. It's a neat solution.
Yeah.
Mole man.
I mean, I wonder if there's some equivalent to the Molotov chrome pen, but in golden.
Yeah, that could work
That
too.
way you would get even more of the Terran marine vibe because those
Right.
are golden.
Yes. Well, you just got to get some golden chrome marbles, I guess.
I'm not sure you can get those. I'm not sure. I'm maybe.
Why don't we message Underhiver and ask him? Okay. Was there anything else, Kajan? I realized that like we've been kind of like off the normal beat of things, but is there anything else that you saw on Instagram this week or on the internet hobby-wise that you thought was worth sharing with folks? If you want to consider
Put
it,
on
I
the
can
spot.
start.
Yeah, you start with this. I need to find the people.
Okay.
I have some ideas, but
Hopefully I don't steal your ideas.
could be worse. I could have none.
So the one that I wanted to talk about was Persnickety Sculptor, who we've actually talked about on the stream before. I believe it was one of our what I'm looking for, June Stealer conversations, where Darth Bob came to us with, I think it was the second week that we did talking about June Stealer or something. Or no, it was the third week. It was the week that we also talked about like forced birth in the United States. Uh, uh, Darth Bob came to us with some pictures from Facebook that he'd found of someone who was making some really cool Tyranids. In fact, I'll go find those pictures. I think this was the picture we talked about. It was a brood lord that had been converted and posted up on Facebook, and it was really like kind of vicious looking and had like funky half bone sword, half scything talon claws. Why can't I get back? Yeah, so was someone who was just posting on uh, Facebook initially, and then Darth Bob reached out to him and suggested that he get onto Instagram. He actually had an Instagram account, but it was more for like his personal stuff, and he posted some drawings that he'd done. You might remember this guy that we talked about on that stream, creepy tyrant with the weird face and a big giant gun. Anyway, Darth Bob succeeded in luring Jed Simpson, now known as Persnickety Sculptor, onto Instagram. And I don't know if we talked about this on stream. We might have. But he's just doing some crazy, crazy conversions. Like, for example, this insane giant Tyranid railgun that he's making for this kind of tyrant-sized creature. So I just love the stuff that he's doing. And I think it's very original and very, like, unique use of Tyranid bits in a way that like reminds me of what like Bits of Box does, and little to a lesser extent like Hydra would do this as well, but just taking all kinds of different bits, combining them in non-standard ways, and making some damn cool Tyranids. Here he is comparing his conversion to the white spikes. What are they called? From Tomorrow War. White spikes. There we go. He's got it right in the post. Why am I struggling? But yeah, so this week he got further on this super duper tyrant with the super giant gun, got some big like tyrant wing arms on him, got some cool tentacles and backward facing vent things, and I'm just loving this dude. Oh, thanks, Kajan, for putting it in the chat. Storybook guy says I binned my Hive Tyrant work in progress because of him. I hope you're joking. I don't think anyone should bin anything because of other people's ideas. Just like finish what you're working on, and then when you work on your next thing, you can rip off their ideas for that one.
Yeah, but I get where he's coming from. Sometimes you just see something who does the thing you had in mind so much better than you could.
Yeah. But don't get mad, just get even. Make something even cooler. Anyway, this was the one that I wanted to share. This tyrant specifically with this crazy gun and the crazy like big arms and the vent things on the back. It's so cool. What's that? I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It was quite gone for a moment. At
Oh,
least for me.
weird. Okay. So I see Brett Evans is saying he's getting Craftsman Jono vibes from Persnickety Sculptor. Definitely agree with that. Craftsman Jono is another one who doesn't let standard Tyranid morphology get in his way of making really cool Tyranids and using bits in unique ways. If you're not following Craftsman Jono, you should definitely follow Craftsman Jono. I will put it in the chat so you don't have to. What didn't work? If I could copy and paste, that would be helpful. Okay, thank you. Apparently I'm having difficulties. But yeah, when I think about like amazingly awesome Tyranid creations by Craftsman Jono, of course, this lovely old one-eye something or other giant ass Carnifex stands out, and this was what inspired me to use Tyrannifex legs on Hell / the conversion that I'm doing for Darth Bob. But of course, the first thing that melted my mind that Craftsman Jono did, there's so much. It's hard to keep it straight. Was this crazy number that I think we talked about possibly in November? It's like a Hive Tyrant Zoanthrope throne, giant railgun, swords, tentacles, multiple body segments and tails everywhere. I just think it's the best thing ever. So, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of, these are some of the damn finest Tyranid creators out there, as far as I'm concerned. So, what did you want to talk about, Kajan? What did you see?
I just posted you three links into the stream.
Discord?
Yeah.
Did you put it in the chat on this thing? Because we know I don't know where that is and how to get to it.
And the planning.
Good man. You know that I have difficulties. Played to my level.
The first one is Augustus Brass. He did some great corpulent cornet cultists, which I think look amazing.
Okay, let's see if I can pull that up. I don't know if I've actually seen these. Augustus BRAA.
I just put it in the chat.
I know. My problem is that my computer is set up in such a way that if I click on a link in Discord, it opens it in Firefox, and Firefox is the browser that doesn't want to work with my Slowbox.
Oh, okay.
So it's my fault, not yours. You did a great job. I fucked up. Ooh, these are very corpulent. Oh, I love the use of those corpse grinder heads, because those heads look terrible on the models they come on, but so good on anything larger. Good call. Oh man, this is some great models. Oh, that's a.
I mean, it's not Tyranids, but I think
doesn't have to be. That's fine.
They really impressed me.
Yeah, I love those what are they called? Are they called Light Lords?
Corpulent cornate.
Oh, these are corn.
Yeah, corpulent cornate
Oh, I saw them and I immediately thought Nurgle because he's using the Nurgle kits to make them. But they're just they really love blood and they drink a lot of blood and they got kind of corpulent. That's pretty cute.
Yeah, according to the introduction where he showed all of them together, all his 10, he said those are corpulent cornate cultists.
I love the alliteration. So flesh-eating chaos cult. God, they're so good. Really great job. Oh, I am following him. Okay, good.
The other one that really impressed me this week was Warsinger. I mean,
Yep.
his Necron, especially the ones he did with the explosions and energy fields.
Yep. Here we go. Warsinger is always getting a lot of love from us because, as far as I'm concerned, he should be in charge of the Necron line. And this is just further proof of that fact. So yeah, he did these. He does a lot of cool field effects, like force field effects, with this kind of like honeycomb pattern. So here we have, I think they're Lich Guard, taking like all these shots in their fields, and like really nicely done effects. And he's got all kinds of these. Like he's got ones. Oh, and here he's got a picture of like one that he did previously, and then his new ones on the right. And then he's got these other ones that are like holding their shields above their heads and like blocking like big like explosions on them. Damn, that's cool.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do this with zone tropes.
Ah, yes, that would be great.
And I always wondered how you would do this, because usually I only see zone tropes with lightning effects.
Yeah.
But seeing here with a honeycomb energy shield, I think this would work for Tyranids.
So I feel like not with the honeycomb, but when it gets to like these force weapons and like the lightning coming off of them, I'm guessing that a lot of that is hot glue, because that's the Warsinger's like preferred material.
Yeah, he's amazing with his hot glue gun.
Yes, proper artist is what he is. Like, I would say that Warsinger's painting is on my level. Like, I'm like, he's a good painter. Neither one of us probably are going to win any golden demons, but Warsinger's sculpting is beyond me. Like, what he can do with hot glue, I do not understand. Here we go.
Yeah, especially his really big Necron, the
Satan and stuff.
Satan gods he did. Those always blow me away when I see them. How he did that with hot glue. It's unreal.
Yes.
Because
so good.
I wouldn't even begin to understand where to start.
Uh-huh.
At least at my skill level where I am at, I wouldn't even know where to start.
And if you've not seen those Satan, here's a good group shot of 4 of his Satan. Look at those like energy field effects. Look at those weird like, I don't know, rays and like and vortexes and vortices, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Like, it's all done with like hot glue, and it is just amazing. So I don't know how you could watch this stream and not be following Warsinger, but in case you weren't, get on it, because he's like, look at this. And the crazy thing is that Warsinger draws this stuff. He'll do a concept sketch for this, and this will be exactly what he showed in his concept sketch. Like, it's otherworldly, which is what you want when you're dealing with horrible space gods. Like, look at these arms reaching out of these rays. Oh, so good. And his painting style, amazing. I think, is kind of like, it's not non-metal, but it's like this looks like a painting. This is a sculpture. How cool is that? Oh, here we go. This is a great shot of the stages. So if you look on the far right in this image, you can see a little bit of green stuff there up around the head. But all of that other white stuff, hot glue. Dude is sculpting with hot glue. Why have I not liked this? And then there's the stage of the painting. Ah, masterpiece.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
And like, he does all kinds of shit. Like giant constructs. Like, look at this. What the heck?
I really would love to see him work. I mean, I'm so curious how he does this with hot glue. I mean, all I'm seeing is my hot glue gun, and I can't imagine what he does. I mean, does he use specialized tools or something to get that effect?
I don't. Like, look at this friggin' thing. Look at this mutated, stretched amazingness. All hot glue. Because, like, I don't know, you can do some stuff with hot glue, but it looks like you did it with hot glue. This guy does hot glue like people use green stuff. It breaks my mind. I cannot give the Warsinger enough flowers. It's not possible. Because this stuff is like, look, okay, here we go. Here's an example. Concept sketch that he did. Oh wait, no, did someone else do this? Oh, I think maybe someone else. No. I think WS. I think that's him. I think this is his sketch. And then, like, from that sketch to that realized product, it's basically the same thing. He brought it to life. It's amazing. So please go follow Warsinger 1,000 times because he definitely deserves it.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh my god.
And speaking of amazing, I mean, this week also we saw someone that is actually in the chat right now.
Oh, did we? Who could that be? Oh, I always screw up. Is it the or that? It's that, isn't it? Or is it the?
The
Oh, I'm an idiot. The STOR. Oh, there he is. Aaron Davies, otherwise known as the storyboard mumbo jumbo, with this big ass mumbo jumbo right here. How quickly did this go together? Was this in 1 week or like 2 weeks?
it felt like a week, but it might be longer than that, but not much.
So the storyboard guy made a modified Hierophant. And I will tell tales out of school because I know Hydra never watches these things when he's not on them. Hydra saw this and he's like, that motherfucker. I wanted to be the first person that converted a Hierophant and fixed it. And this guy's gone and beat me. And I told Hydra, I'm like, listen, technically you can still do it because storyboard guy took the smart approach and used a third-party sculpt of the Hierophant rather than paying the exorbitant prices for a Forge World Hierophant, which is all well and good until it gets to your doorstep and you find out it's all warped and mutated and screwed up. Better to do something you can print at home, especially if you're just doing it as like a kind of proof of concept for a conversion. But yeah, so check out the storyboard guy's Hierophant. Oh, sorry, Kajan, you brought this up. Tell me what you like about it.
I mean, I like about everything about it, but mostly I like he took the Hierophant, and I hate that model, and he turned it into something beautiful. I really love, especially the legs.
Yeah,
It's not a knife walker. I love the idea that it's walking on the knuckles
yeah,
with the claws up. I mean, I had a similar idea, but this is how knife walking should be done, because you don't want to have those knives in the ground where they get blunt.
yeah, certainly.
And also the way he extended the carapace on the back to look more spiky.
Yeah.
That's great. Also love the face. He really did a great face with this one.
Yeah, very buggy. Very bug-like, the face. Oh, there's a nice close-up on the face. Yeah, if you haven't, for some reason, checked out the storyboard guy's stuff before, he does take Tyranids in a very buggy direction, which is very pleasing to me, and I like that he kind of keeps that aesthetic through his whole force, which is cool. And yeah, and a lot of people like are interested in more insect-like Tyranids, so definitely check out his stuff for that.
And he's blushing.
Good. Oh, the feet reminded me of Cloverfield. That's a good reference. I don't remember what the Cloverfield monster's feet look like, but I guess they're like this. I think storyboard guy said that they were inspired by beetle feet. I know that he and I had some conversations about like what alternatives there are to knife walking. I was going more the elephant route, but he went the beetle route.
Yeah, the one I did, I used a tarantula as inspiration.
Yeah.
They also walk on this front limb. At least they look like they could. Just the other way around.
Yeah.
But I really love what he did with this thing. I mean, I didn't think this model would work, but he made it work. So that's the amazing thing for me.
Nice. Okay, I realized I want to do one more shout out. Gotta go figure it out. Also, someone in the chat. And I have been asleep at the wheel for far too long when it comes to a creation by one of our dear, sweet community members, Brett Evans, otherwise known as Quarantine Miniatures, and Brett's game that he created called Brawl Arcane. So this is a game that Hydra has been screaming about for weeks now. Feels like months. And yeah, Brett came up with this game, I think himself. Brett, correct us if you had a whole slew of minions helping you out coming up with Brawl Arcane. But this is a really cool game that Brett either helped to create or created all himself. And it's a very simple game. And when Hydra was here, he made sure that we played it together. And it was so cool. It's played on a chessboard, first of all. You only need like 3 or 4 pieces of scatter terrain. You only need 1 wizard and 3 minions. And it's just this very elegant, simple rule set that still has a lot of depth to it and a lot of like fun. So I didn't say. You can get it you can make a donation to Brett to reward him for his hard work. If you're a cheesy, cheapo jerk face, you can also get it for free. That's an option. Comes in a PDF. And there are, God, I can't remember. I think there are like 8 or 10 possible warbands in there. And Brett does a really good job of picking like characterful warbands without painting you into a corner. So like, for example, when we played, I played with the Green Witch, who's kind of like something Sylvaneth-y, like a woodsy witch sort of thing. And she's got 3 forest dweller minions. And her thing is that she's very quick. And then Simon Hydra played with a Astral Warlock, I think, which is very kind of Cthulhu inspired type thing. And his thing was that his guys didn't move very quickly, but his minions were very skilled at their abilities and they could actually like shoot ranged attacks. So we played 2 games. I won the first game, Simon won the second game, and then we didn't get to play the third game, the grudge match. But it was cool because like the whole idea is that you're doing this in kind of like a gladiatorial arena and there's an audience. And Brett's worked in this whole way that like the audience influences the game as well. Like it's a really cool system, but basically if you roll and your opponent rolls and you get the same roll, you don't do a roll off well, I guess you do a roll off, but no shit, how does it happen? You do a roll off, but you don't get to add your skill to it. It's just bare bones dice, and whoever wins gets like a boon from the audience. Because when you roll the same number, it's like there's this magical explosion that happens. And the audience is like, yeah, magical explosion, that's awesome. And then you have to roll on this table to see what kind of benefits you get. So, like, for example, in my first game with Simon, the benefit I got was that I got a crystal shard. Someone in the audience threw a crystal shard because, like, they loved the magical explosion so much. And it hit Simon's wizard right in the face. And it did 6 health points worth of damage to this wizard that only has 15 health points, and so that helped me win. But just like random shit like that. And like, look at these cool miniatures. Like, you can basically do whatever you want. Just make a wizard, make some weird minions to go with them, and you're set. Make 4 miniatures, you're done.
I haven't played this one, but it's on the face of it, it sounds very much like the pit invasions from Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Where you also have the audience. So I'm guessing this is similar, where the idea is you're playing a group of people in a public match.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah. And like the audience, I think the audience only really interacts with when you have those like magical explosions, and then you get crowd favors, which are like the you roll in the bonus chart, which sometimes helps you and sometimes screws you over. Like a couple of times the crowd was shouting like jeers at Simon's wizard, and he actually like lost some of his skill points. So yeah, but yeah, just check out Quarantine Miniatures if you're not already following Brett. He also posts some really awesome Tyranids, which I think we've talked about in our June Stealer features. And
it doesn't hurt to talk about them again.
yeah, and also like really cool Chaos Spawn. He's been doing a lot of cool Spawn. I think he started in the quarantine, hence why it's Quarantine Miniatures. But yeah, now he's got his own game, and very easy to play, very straightforward. All you need is 4 miniatures, lots of fun. So I highly recommend it, and I'm sorry that I've been sleeping on it until now, despite Hydra clearly talking up how good it is, because he's absolutely right, and I had a blast playing it with him.
Well,
yeah. So thanks, Brett.
I could throw you under the bus right now and say maybe you should set something up with Brett so he can discuss it on the stream.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, we should do that. In fact, we should probably do that when Simon's here, because he's so obsessed with Brett and all things Brawl Arcane. So yeah, we'll see. Brett, would you be open to it? To talking to us a little more about Brawl Arcane on a future stream? It doesn't have to be next week, but it could be next week, if that works for you. Let us know here. Let us know on the 5th member Discord, wherever works for you, and then we'll see about whether Simon's can make it, and we can go from there. Because Simon has played more Brawl Arcane than I have. I've played the 2 games. I think he's played at least 1 or 2 games with his brother. I think he's played 1 or 2 games with his gaming friend group in Germany. Yeah. Oh, Brett, be up for that. Good suggestion, Kajan. There we go. That's how wonderful things happen.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear more about it, like how you choose your war band, stuff like that. How this works. I think it wouldn't hurt to talk about it.
Good. And hey, what do you know? I could use that that podcast hosting service that I pay for and never use. Cut it out and make it into a podcast episode about Brawl Arcane. Maybe that would be helpful. Okay, I think honestly, I know we haven't done a lot of hobby stuff this stream. This is my hobby space with nothing in it but a keyboard. But I think this has been, I don't know, I've enjoyed this.
I think it counts as hobby. I mean, we reminiscent about childhood hobbies.
Yeah.
With G.I. Joe, we talked about what happened in the hobby in terms of news.
We reviewed some miniatures, yeah.
We gave shout-outs to amazing creators. So I think we're good on the hobby part.
Good. Well, I guess the only other thing that happened in my hobby last week that was amazing that I wanted to mention was that Hydra is an amazing force for like hobby inspiration, because he, you know, sometimes in your hobby you can get kind of caught up in like how something should be or how something could be, and kind of get I don't know if it's analysis paralysis, but kind of paralysis around, oh man, I want this to be so good and I'm worried that I'm not going to make it good, or oh man, I want to get a cool scheme for this but I don't really know what it's going to be. I don't think Hydra ever suffers from that. So Hydra got me into this game called Death May Die, which is a I think it's from Fantasy Flight. No, it's from Simon, Cool Mini or Not. And it's based on the Cthulhu mythos. It comes with a bunch of miniatures packaged in the game. And it has like these missions that you play, which are more board gamey than tabletop miniature-y. Like your character has some stats, some abilities, but it's pretty straightforward. And he got me into it. I played it with my wife Nora, and Nora loved it. She thought it was amazing. In fact, when Nora and I are just hanging out, sometimes I'll be like, hey, what do you want to do? And she, like, more often than not, she's like, yo, we should play some Death May Die. And I'm always the idiot who's like, oh, I don't know if I feel up to playing this awesome miniature game with my lovely wife. Oh, I don't know. So I'm shitty on that, but she's lovely on that, and we've played remote with Hydra. But when he was here visiting, we wanted to play like an actual physical game together, and we went away to a cottage, took Hydra with us, and I was like asking him, I'm like, hey, like I usually work on miniature stuff at the cottage because there's this beautiful screened-in porch, love doing it. What miniature stuff should I bring up for you to work on? And he's like, hey, why don't we paint the Death May Die miniatures? And I was like, oh, I don't know what kind of scheme, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, no, we're just going to do it. Get me some black spray paint, get me some white spray paint, bring some paints, we're going to do it. So not only did he prime these miniatures on the edge of a lake, not only did he decide to paint them, he also got Nora into painting them. And he was like, she was like, oh, can I paint some of these? And he's like, yeah, sure, come on, pull up a chair. So he like talked to her about like schemes and like where they were going to do stuff. And the two of them painted miniatures together using contrast paints while I was working on like cleaning up, sculpting on a hive tyrant or something. And they got like almost all the miniatures that we used for this one mission painted in like an afternoon using primarily contrast paints. So yeah, like that was my big hobby thing this week. Not even something I did, but it was pleasurable for me to watch them like getting together and painting these miniatures. And now Nora's like, hey, I want to paint some more Death May Die miniatures. And I'm doing my stupid thing where I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's very humid here, it's very hot, can I prime them? Oh, do I have to do it with my airbrush? Am I going to do it with my rattle cans? And really, I should be more like Hydra. And I should just be like, yeah, we can absolutely paint some Death May Die miniatures. I'm going to prime up for you. You can do whatever you want with them. Because that's pretty awesome, and I should encourage it. So that was my cool hobby happening for this week.
Yeah, contrast paints are amazing for board gamers.
Agreed.
I have a friend who has an entire separate room with only board games inside.
Yeah.
And just for storage purposes, you can't play inside that room.
Yeah.
Because it's so full. And he also started painting his board game miniatures with contrast paints because it's easy to do.
Absolutely. You just give him a quick zenithal prime with like black all over, white from on top, and then you just hit him with some contrast paints and you're like 95% there. If you want to go in and pick out like individual details, you can do that, but you absolutely don't have to. And that's what Hydra and Nora did, and it was great.
Yeah, and it's a great entry into the hobby for your significant other to get into painting. At least I somewhere heard studies that women are more likely to pick up painting than other parts of our hobby. So getting her to paint is probably the quickest way to get her into the hobby.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, I very much don't feel like I need to get my partner into the hobby. Like it's nice, but it's also something that I do. So I don't feel like she needs to like have an army and all that stuff. If she's interested in it, that's cool too. But I do like having her interested in the hobby in the terms of like wanting to play like games together and stuff like that, wanting to paint. I feel very fortunate about that.
Yeah, it's great when your other half is showing interest in this way. And as I said, at least it's something I heard, and I know it from my circle of friends that you can get them more interested in the painting side of things.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely bearing out, and she's kind of like in a space right now where she's trying to do more artistic pursuits, because she is a phenomenally artistic person, but she just hasn't really made a ton of time for it because she's also a very driven person and like professional responsibilities, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
sounds like someone I know.
Who's that? Oh, you just know someone? Oh, okay.
My wife is a workaholic, and she's also very artistic inclined. And her favorite dream is to be painting.
Yeah.
Actually paint her with canvas and oil paints and everything.
Yeah.
And she's also very interested in photography and that stuff, but she never has time.
All right, well, let's not call her a workaholic. Let's call her. I don't know.
No, I call her what she is. So
All right, well, I don't know. I'm not passing judgment.
she
That's your call.
she is working 12 hours a day. So
I hope she's getting paid for 12 hours a day. That's all I have to say.
She is working her regular job, and then afterwards she's training people and stuff like that. It's stuff she doesn't have to do but wants to do. So that's why I'm calling her workaholic.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't call my wife a workaholic, but she is very dedicated to her work, to like progressing. Like, I don't know if people remember, but a while back I posted, it's like a little thing I posted once, a story post. Is this the same size? I posted a story post of Taika Waititi on the set of one of the Thor movies with Cate Blanchett. I think, is it Cate Blanchett? No, it's, I don't know.
Cate Blanchett?
No, is it her? Who played the bad lady in the Thor movie?
Who played Helen?
Hell, yeah, Hell.
Uh,
Was that Cate Blanchett? I have no idea. Kate something. I don't know. Anyway,
Cate
there's this picture. I should hold on. I'm gonna go find it because
I
why
just
the hell?
looked it up. Cate Blanchett was in Thor Ragnarok. My pronunciation is terrible.
Here we go. All right, I'm gonna go find it. Let's see if I can get the right one. No, shit, that's not the right one. Ah, this is the worst. Okay, I'm just gonna get the normal picture and then I'll do it for you. Open. One sec, I just gotta put this back on. Where the heck are we? Browser share. Okay, so this is the picture of Taika Waititi, who's amazing, and Cate Blanchett, who's badass and huge in this role. And there's this meme on the internet where it's like Cate Blanchett, there's like a caption on her that says, my awesome breadwinning executive wife. And then on Taika Waititi, it's me showing her the Lego sets I want to buy. So basically, like, hey honey, can you buy me these Lego sets with your awesome executive earnings? And I made the Warhammer version, which is like my awesome executive breadwinning wife, otherwise known as Nora, and me showing her the Warhammer sets I want to buy. Because let's be honest, I like making random shit, but I like making art stuff, I like making videos, all this stuff, but I don't really care to be the executive of anything. And my wife is far more motivated to be the executive of something. So if any one of us is going to be the breadwinner in this relationship, like, I mean, I do okay. I make some coin for us, but if either one of us is going to be the breadwinner in this relationship, it's going to be her. So yeah.
Undoubtedly, it's my wife that's good. That's the breadwinner in the family. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying here. You know where I'm going with this.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so, you know.
Don't do that picture with showing here the nerdy stuff I want to buy.
Exactly. So all that is to say that, you know, let's have a little bit of gender reversal. Let's have some badass wifeys who are taking care of their dorky little hobies. And, just to say that she's the one that's far more likely to be an executive breadwinning badass than I am. And I'm fine with that.
Me too.
But I do like to encourage her to get her art on whenever I can, because I think that she's a really great artist. Her father was a phenomenal artist before he passed away. And I just love encouraging her to pursue that passion, because I think she's really good at it. So when it comes to like her being like, hey, maybe I can paint some miniatures, I really need to get off my ass and make that happen, because that is a very amazing thing and I want to encourage it.
I fully agree.
Yeah. All right. I think that's probably where we'll finish on this awesome picture of Cate Blanchett and Taika Waititi. And I want to thank you all for joining us for this much more random than normal creature conference where we blathered all over the place. As I think Brett mentioned earlier, quote unquote, relived the 80s. I realize many of you probably didn't live the 80s in the first place, so I'm just the old man trying to relive it. Kajan, I think you were with me in the 80s, right?
Yeah, I will feel.
Good man. Let's be old man solidarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I know you're like, okay, old man shouting at clouds telling us to watch G.I. Joe, but you will not regret it. If you watch the 1987 G.I. Joe the movie, there's be some cool Tyranid stuff in there. You might get some cool inspiration. Storyboard guy, you definitely have to check it out because I know you're a lover of Omu and Naushka Valley of the Wind, all that stuff. Cobra Law is like the whole like Naushka what the heck is it, like spore / mycology whatever stuff, like turn evil, so it'll be cool. I think you'll like it. So yeah, check that out, and check us back here next week, where we'll be doing the Euro stream, so that's the earlier time. But if you're, oh wait, Skinny Skull, do I know you by another name? Are you like a different name on Instagram? Are we connected on Instagram? Did you just discover us on YouTube? If you're still around, drop that in the chat, let me know, because I know a lot of people roll up on this and they roll up on this from other directions, but there are also a lot of people who come in from Instagram, so I want to make sure I know who that is, because I don't think we've seen Skinny Skull before. But thanks for joining us. And yeah, Storyboard guy, Robotech was better. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. Like the bad guys in Robotech are really gross and goopy. There's also Techno Man, which had some really gross, goopy Tyranids type things. Yeah. Oh, please, Diana probably did it earlier and I completely missed it because I saw Diana in the chat, but I didn't say hi. Hi, Diana, if you're still around. Please, oh, she just said how do. So yeah. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already liked and subscribed. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification thing so that you get notified when our next streams are coming up. We do these every Friday, either at 4:30 p.m. Eastern or 7:30 p.m. Eastern, which equates to 9:30 in the UK, 10:30 p.m. in Germany. And what is the North American stream in German time? Is it 3:30, Kaja?
This one?
Yeah, what time do we start this, your time?
It starts at 1:30 a.m.
1:30, okay. So I thank you, Kajan, for being the only German up at this hour to join us for the North American stream. So we make sure we have our proper German efficiency quotient met.
Someone has to keep it up.
Someone has to keep the shit on track. Yeah, so we thank you all for joining us. Please join us again next week, whether it's live here in the chat or whether it's by watching the recording of the stream. And as we've done the last couple of times, Kajan, what random thing should we ask someone who's been watching the stream the whole time, has put up with all of our random bullshit, has made it to the end? What question should they answer in a comment on YouTube to let us know they made it to the end?
Whether or not the Serpentor reminds them of a Heman character.
Okay. So how do we make that like a is Serpentor more He-Man or more G.I. Joe? So I guess put in the comment if you've made it this far and you're watching the video on YouTube, watching the recording, and you watched that crazy thing where we showed you Serpentor, the guy with the weird snake armor on his head. Does that look more like a G.I. Joe character or more like a He-Man character to you? Slap that in the comment and we'll know that you made it to the end. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Kajan, for co-hosting.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone in the chat who shared your comments, your thoughts, all that kind of stuff. And we will see you again next time. Adios.
Take care, everyone.
Bye. Okay, we're